Hello everybody, welcome back to another interview, the fifth one now. And finally, after quite a while of searching, I found another guest. And this time I have Unacomm from GaminGHD Channel. So it's a gaming focused channel with really interesting stuff into the gaming journalist domain and into let's plays and other stuff. So feel free to check it out. And hi, Unacomm. How are you?
Hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you a lot for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you here. And well, as you know, the questions are split up into 5 categories. And without further explanations, let me get into the first category, the intro questions. Can you tell us your real name and gamer tag?
Well, my real name is Julian Mocano, which may be a bit difficult to speak in English sometimes, so Julian will also do if it's necessary. Mm-hmm. My gamer tag is Unacomm. I'm generally the only one that uses Unacomm, usually pronounced like an evil corporation like Viacom.
Okay.
If you see under Unacomm that isn't me, please let me know. There may be clones out there and they must be purged.
Yeah, okay. And the second question, what is your age and where are you from?
Well, I'm 30 years old. I'm an old man now.
Well, I'm also there, so not a problem.
I'm from the little Eastern European country called Romania, just like you are. From the city of Brăila, which is now hosting its celebration. The Days of Brăila. We're celebrating about 600 or 700 years since the city was first found in historical records. It's older than that, but we don't know how old because in the 1400s it got burned down.
Okay, so you just picked a date and you celebrate it like it was the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are from Romania, just like me. It's quite cool to find more Romanians like me into the YouTubes. Because until now, I didn't know that there were so many, so it's really cool.
There are quite a few, but they tend to keep themselves mostly.
Yeah, why not collaborate? Why not build up a community? So, okay.
There have been attempts that they ended badly.
Okay, sadly. So, into the third question, can you describe your YouTube channel and what other work do you do?
Well, the YouTube channel was set up by my friend Raul. He, I believe, made the channel about 6 or 7 years ago. He's been doing YouTube for actually longer than me. He started out by doing Let's Plays, by doing all sorts of different shows, comparisons with graphical evolution of games. He also made a new show at one time, which was presented by a friend of his. And if I remember correctly, one episode was actually hosted within Prince of Persia 1. Like, you had the game on the background, the host was moving superimposed over the character through the level. It was a very, very nice thing. But as a new show, it didn't work out that well because it took him about a week to do that thing and then didn't do one for about 3 months.
Okay. So it was really, it needed a lot of work basically.
Yeah, it wasn't the exact right format for a new show, but it looked great. Our channel currently covers all sorts of things. We have gaming content that's based more on entertainment, like the Play Now series, like the top 7s, which are basically clickbait, but they're fun to make. We try to make more informational content, like the Gaming Codex, where we try to explain what words in the gaming context
That's a nice
mean.
idea, indeed.
Like game itself, like RPG, like we're going to have a show next week about what HDR is, because we've had HDR before and now there's a new one. And we have more in-depth analysis of certain components of video games in the Gaming Culture series. If you have the time, please check out the Dark Age of the MMO. It's a show that I really like to make.
Okay, I will do.
And we also have hardware reviews, a bunch of them upcoming in the next couple of weeks, with mostly peripheral related to gaming.
Okay, and I'll also throw here the playlist Gaming History. Because I fell in love with that one because I'm a really nostalgic person and so many games you covered there that I played during my childhood. So just today you launched the Prince of Persia episode, so it was really cool to see it again.
That's the third time I've made that show.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the video. Yeah. Okay, and the next questions. How did you grow as a gaming journalist? Because I understand you really went there, and maybe a short history.
Well, I sort of slid into gaming journalism by accident. A couple of years ago, in 2006, there was an upcoming online network called Arena TV. It was based entirely on video games. It was going to launch in the fall of 2006. It launched. It didn't work that well because they weren't hosting it through YouTube or something. They had their own servers, and it was live, like live TV through internet in 2006. And technically, it was difficult at first, but they eventually got the technical aspect to work properly. And they had some really interesting gaming content. But I kept nagging them about, you should make a series about the origins of the RPG genre.
Okay.
And I kept nagging them about it constantly. And again, over the course of a year. I ended up making that series for them. I ended up making news for them as well. So I got started in gaming journalism in their newsroom.
Okay, so through Arena TV, yes?
Yeah. They collected a bunch of people from the community. They invited them online to see who would write news. And I was one of the few left over because it was a demanding schedule and not a lot of people had the time. I sort of made a few sacrifices and tried to do my best with the news. And from the news, I went on to write scripts for the history show, for the reviews, and many other things.
Okay.
And that's also where I got the format for Play Now. It was initially called, Install.game. It was hosted by Anda from Extreme PC, if anybody knows the magazine, back in 2006. Then it was taken over by Claudio from Level, and then by Lulu, and then by me, and from 2009 to 2010, when Rain TV shut down.
Okay. So, yeah, this is how you started. Really cool. And I know the Level magazine, Extreme PC. I didn't had so much contact with it, but Level is one of my favorites.
I had a few articles in Extreme PC, in Level written as well, but not under my name. And Lulu was also collaborating with Level back then under the name Discord List, and we did have a few articles written there.
Awesome.
From us.
Awesome. Okay. And what other entertainment do you like? Books, music, sports, movies?
Well, books I do like a lot. I just finished the Cryptonomicon by Neil Stevenson. If anybody likes to know about the origins of cryptocurrency, about code breaking in World War II, it's a book that I highly recommend. It's wonderfully written and quite long and very detailed. Like, if you want a book that teaches you code breaking and coding things, you have it there. There is an entire section dedicated to showing you how to encode a message using just playing cards.
Playing card.
Yeah, playing cards. A deck of playing cards, use it to encode messages.
Okay, really interesting.
Also gives you very, very small tips. Like, for example, if you get caught while encoding something with the playing cards, don't just throw them because they generally fall in the same order they were. Shuffle them really quickly.
Okay. So that really could have come in handy in high school. Yeah. Okay. And other media?
Well, I like movies too. And who doesn't? Music as well, especially Nightwish. I really like their last album.
Okay.
With they have a song about Carl Sagan. Like, what's not to like about that?
Okay. So this was the fifth question. So the next category is focused more on personal questions. Like, why do you play video games?
I enjoy them. Like, they're a way of combining both entertainment and an activity, and something that may actually get you to learn something new. Maybe a skill, maybe a language, maybe, I don't know, a little tidbit, a fact, a trivia or something. Or even, games can even teach you more complicated philosophical things. I made a series about how Ultima managed to teach you things relating to the evolution of the morality of man, where he goes from fighting evil to fighting an actual evil entity, like a monster in the world, to fighting the evil within, and just struggling to become a better human being.
So a bit more like gaming psychology that we can see.
Yeah. There are a lot of games that have dealt with that, and they deal with it in a way that no other game can, because it makes you interact, it makes you do the work. and no other medium can do that.
Okay, so you mostly like because you like what they teach you, being it something practical or just theoretical, how humans think. Okay, and the next questions, as we are here to know the gamer, and this time is Unacomn, how do you define a gamer?
Well, I have had a few definitions of gamer over the years. When I was about 15, for me, a gamer was someone that knew what the pull chain on the 5th level of Ultima Underworld did. If you didn't know that, you're not a gamer, you're a poser. Go play Counter-Strike, go do something else.
Okay.
I've mellowed down since then. If you like games and you play them, you're a gamer.
Okay.
That's my definition.
So without the hardcore element needed as a requirement.
Yeah, the hardcore element, not so much anymore.
Okay. Cool. The next questions. What games did influence you most and how?
Oh, well, I guess Alpha Centauri. Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri is a game I absolutely love. It shaped my way of seeing stories being told through gameplay, through the evolution of gameplay, with almost no dialogue. Even if you skip through all the cinematics, it doesn't have cutscene, but has those book things, all the text, you can still see a story being told through a strategy game. And it's a superb one about the evolution of a planet when it comes to contact with humans that are there to colonize it. It's a wonderful story that you can play, that you can see. Also, Ultima Underworld, again, it's a game that really blew my mind when I first played it. It's a first-person immersive video game made with technology that's at about the level of a calculator. Like, this thing can run probably 24 Ultima Underworlds parallel. But it was made at a time when that kind of game should not have been possible, but it was. I mean, in an age where you didn't even have the first you didn't have Wolfenstein 3D yet when Ultima Underworld came out, and this was a game where you had the physical body, where if you ran into a wall, you would react, you would jump off it,
So you basically
bounce off it.
You saw in this game human ingenuity. Or how do you call it?
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the means to do things like today, so we had to find ways around. And
they did. They made a world that was believable, not just from the technical point of view, but every monster you found in that world, for the most part, was not there to be killed. It was a character. It had a story behind it. You could avoid killing it sometimes. Some of them would not be even hostile. They would just look like monsters. And you would have to steal their shoes for reasons.
Interesting.
You could bargain for them. It was like more like a pen and paper RPG than as an actual computer RPG.
Okay. Really cool. Yeah, indeed. So Alpha Centauri, telling the story through the mechanics, and Ultima for the way
the immersion. It was just incredible.
And because of the world. Yeah. Okay. The next questions, any regret from gaming, maybe crushed dreams, broken keyboards?
My biggest regret was not playing Star Control 2 when I was a kid. Star Control 2 is another one of those games that just make you look at modern games and see so much wasted potential. It's, again, one of these games where you have an incredibly sophisticated story about space exploration. It's sort of like if Mass Effect had 1 billion times more content, more races, better writing, better plot, better everything. So like that.
Okay. Well, those are some quite high standards.
Yeah, the game is actually free. There is a free version of it called the Ur-Quan Masters, with a Q, Ur-Quan Masters. It's free. Everybody should try it. It may look a bit simple. I mean, it's top down, it's 2D, but it is a superb game to play. Especially, it also has humor, and like quite a lot of humor.
So if you want to play it, I'll put the link down below. So okay, and the next question: what do you prefer, a gameplay's moment thrill or a deep story that make you feel and think?
Well, ideally it would be a combination of both. I mean, both good gameplay and a story that actually makes you feel something. A lot of games actually do manage to combine both of them. A recent example would be The Witcher 3. It had good gameplay. The combat could have been a bit less click and you'll teleport to the other side of the map to kick someone in the face. But the story really made up for it. For example, the expansion, the first expansion for it, Hearts of Stone, was some of the best storytelling in video games ever made.
Okay. Yeah, I'm asking this question because in the indie side, because people do not have so much money and time to develop a game, they mostly focus on one thing. So a gameplay aspect or the story aspect. So this is why I like to ask people.
Yeah, I sort of had the same problem myself when I tried to develop a game years and years ago. I had no idea how to actually do it. In terms of programming, I got to the point where I got the engine to initialize, and I imported the barrel in it, and that's it. But I said, okay, I'm gonna learn that stuff. Until then, I'm gonna work on the story, and I started writing. And over the course of 10 years, it sort of dropped the game part, and it became an actual book called Tale of Doom. Volume 1 out now.
This is where you got the idea for the book. Really cool. And for people to plug this in, he has a book, also linked below, which you can buy. And as you saw, this is how it began.
It still has a few grammatical errors in it. They'll be corrected when Volume 2 comes out sometime this year, hopefully.
Okay, cool. The next category, questions more related to the past. When and how did you start gaming?
I think the first game I played, like the first game ever, was Bad Dudes. It was an arcade cabinet. There was a traveling arcade cabinet sort of thing. When they loaded them onto a trailer for a truck and they moved them from town to town. And so exactly like that. They parked one right next to the school, and I just went there one day when I had some spare change and played Bad Dudes. It was an amazing game. This was when American Ninja was everywhere. Everybody that had a VCR in our neighborhood saw that movie. Like, we huddled together by the hundreds, by the tens, and we just watched that movie nonstop. And that game was basically the movie, but interactive. It's kind of a horrible game when you get to play it now, but back then it was the best game ever. And
into the PC with the
first time I played a PC game, I think it was in 95, maybe. There was a computer shop in town, and someone was playing Silent Service 2. For a long time, I thought it was Silent Hunter, but no, it was Silent Service 2. And I got to press the button for launching the torpedoes. I was so amazed. Like, you could plan everything there. Plan your ascent, your path, your trajectory. You could patrol things. It was amazing.
So Silent Hunter 2, is that a submarine?
Silent Service, yeah. Silent Service 2, it's a submarine game.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Silent Hunter, which I believe it was developed by Romania.
Silent Hunter 2, 3, and 4 are made in Romania.
Yeah, and they are really cool submarine
games. It really
games.
kind of confused me because I was playing Silent Hunter and I was thinking, well, this doesn't look like how I remember. Like, when you die, there's supposed to be a wreath of flowers on the water, but it's not showing up. Do I have an incomplete version of the game? No, I just had the wrong game. It was supposed to be Silent Service 2.
Okay. Okay, just a bit of error there. Okay. The next question. Did you ever got involved in game development? Any personal project?
I tried to make a game a long time ago. It was supposed to be... I had a mad vision at the time. Like, it was around 2001. I told myself, okay, I'm going to make the greatest game ever. It's going to be a game, an RPG open world game like Gothic. But if you can chop down trees, you can build things, you can launch basically a Kamehameha attack through a mountain, and you'd get a bunch of angry dwarves coming out because you ruined their homes. It's sort of like what EverQuest Next was supposed to be.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. To have an interactive element with the medium and all the terrain, okay.
It never got, my game and EverQuest never got actually made. So there's a curse associated with that gaming, with that idea.
Okay, it might be. Who knows? Okay, so at least your project got transformed into a book. So.
I also tried making a sort of simple RPG game. There was a game jam 2 years ago where people made their own games in Romania. And I thought to myself, okay, what kind of game can I make in the 48 hours that they had at their disposal? So I started making one RPG, an RPG Maker, a simple one about our local fairy tales. but didn't get too far because I got a bit sick, had some health issues, and I had to stop developing and never actually picked it up later.
Okay. The next question. Can you tell us about your best remembered games and best moments?
Best remembered games. Whoa, that's a hard one. Probably.
So many.
Yeah. Maybe when I first started playing Heroes of Might and Magic 2, like learning to play that game, when realizing that there was more than one faction because between new sessions they changed, that seemed amazing to me back then. Like different factions, different castles, different units. I loved that game and the way it looked, the way it felt. Also, probably finishing my first 999 frag insta-game matches on Unreal Tournament.
Okay.
That was a highlight.
Interesting.
It took about 2 hours.
I never managed to get into the Unreal Tournament game, but yeah. Interesting. And the next question, let's say. Are you a collector? Any physical collectible items?
Well, I do have probably the only version in Romania of Elemental War of Magic, the Collector's Edition. It has a little dragon with it. It's a horrible game, like the release version was broken, completely unplayably broken, but I have it. It's somewhere around there. I can't actually turn the camera to show it to you because it's behind some boxes.
Not a problem. Still, you can send me a picture.
I will definitely send you a picture of it.
Cool. Okay, and the next questions. What is your most famous content? And what is the one you are most proud of?
My most famous content right now on this channel is probably the top 7 reasons why Diablo 3 sucks. Because I really had a problem with Diablo 3 when it came out. Because when they were developing, they promised a system of skills where you would get skill gems that would drop from monsters. It's a similar way to what Petafexel does, and I really liked the idea. And when the game released, they dropped it. They instead had a skill line, where you would just get skills bending on your level 91 tree, and they basically just kind of screwed everything up with the item mall, with having it always be online. And I routinely vent my frustration through different shows, and that one made it big.
Okay. So that is also about the first version of Diablo, not the current one. Because they really improved it from what I understand.
They improved it by removing the item mall, but it's still only online, so that's still not a major change. It still has some gripes with it.
Okay. Yeah, because as a game, from a gameplay perspective, I really like it. It's really engaging.
The thing that always takes me out of the experience is that I like to play spell-based characters, and the wizard in that game, when I launch a fireball, the fireball gets somehow hotter and does more damage depending on how sharp the axe I'm wielding is. That's an immersion breaking element that's just too much for me. It's because I played Ultima Underworld, that's why.
Okay. So you really pay attention to the details. Okay.
There was one thing though in Diablo 3 that was, I believe it was intentional. There's a bit in a dungeon where you find the journal of someone that's being slowly transformed into a monster. And you see the journal, you see the words being written, and you hear the voice. And the journal ends with them writing, roar, 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 like they're writing in perfect penmanship their growls of turning into a monster. Like that was the best thing ever in that game.
Yeah, really cool moment. So, let's go into the next category for now. Questions more about the present. Do you like to watch eSports? Any favorite teams?
No, not really. I had when I was working at Arena TV, I had sort of a bad experience with eSports where sort of everybody involved in it was kind of a horrible person. And I sort of shied away from eSports completely. I don't really follow them.
Okay. So you do not really enjoy to watch them just for fun?
No, not really. I mean, if there's an actual great event, like where someone plays something amazing, yeah, I may see that, but routinely, no.
Okay. Cool. The next question, what are you currently playing?
Currently, well, I'm playing PlayerUnknown's Battleground mostly because I just realized that the crates that you get to buy can be sold with quite a lot of money on Steam. I'm hoping to earn enough to buy Hitman, the full version of it.
Okay, so you are using this game to buy another
absolutely. That's basically how it works.
Okay.
Also been trying to get to play Shadowrun Hong Kong. I played the Shadowrun Returns and Dragonfall. Dragonfall, by the way, is a superb game, but I never got to play Hong Kong. I've had it for about 2 years. Still have not gotten past the intro. I hope to get enough time to play it.
Cool. And the next one, what is your inspiration, beside the actual games, of your videos? Any channel, events, or sites you follow?
One big inspiration for me was always Total Biscuit. Like, he tends to make content that is very, very high, like better quality than I can ever do. Like,
and he really analyzes all the aspects of a game. I like
he really takes the time to go and do the work properly, which is something I can actually do because I have a second job apart from YouTube. And other inspiration, I guess, just playing games and looking up things on Twitter and stuff and see what people are mad about today and maybe do a show about that thing.
Okay, interesting. The focus on the bad aspects is really welcome and profitable.
The bad aspects are annoying. That's why I feel the need to vent frustration towards it. When something is good, like, it's okay. I don't feel the need to explode. But when something is amazing, I just feel the need to yell at other people, go play it now! So there's a spec, like, something has to be bad, like real bad, to get my attention to do a show, or really, really good.
Really good to make you want to praise it.
The middle is sort of screwed for attention.
Okay, so this is why all the mediocre games are not really so well known.
Some of them are okay, some of them are...
Okay, next question. How are you splitting your time between gaming and real life, family, and YouTube?
It's not easy. I've taken steps to sleep a bit less sometimes, maybe work faster, get up earlier. It's a complicated thing to juggle. I haven't taken a nap in some time, which I used to enjoy taking naps from time to time, but I don't have time to. It's not an easy thing to achieve, especially with a day job that gets progressively more complicated.
Yeah, and I feel we always end up trading sleep for more work.
Yeah. When I at my last job, I worked at Games Arena, which was also previously a magazine, which was also created by Claudio from Level. One time I would write a very long preview, like the preview for Diablo 3, because again, I was very excited about the game. It was about, 10 pages maybe. I was writing it while asleep. Like, I know I was dozing off, but I was still writing. Part of what I read was actually still coherent.
Okay.
And the next morning I edited by adding more pages instead of cutting down. I'm not good at editing, at cutting things down. I just add more, and that's probably why people don't read them.
Because they really go for the long form.
They're not just long; they're a bit too long. They're novel length. Like the review I did for Deus Ex Human Revolution was kind of the same thing, about 9 pages long.
I know a channel. I believe it's Noah something, that has like shows that he does every month or so, where he talks like about 1 hour, 2 hours, and analyzes the whole game basically, and if there are a series of game, the whole series. So
that sounds like
it's really awesome.
Like something I would like to do, like do an analysis that long, but it takes just too much time.
Okay, and now going into the last question from this category, what is your current setup and anything on your hardware wish list?
Oh, my current setup is a hand-me-down from Raul. He upgraded to a Skylake CPU a while ago and gave me his Ivy Bridge i5 with a horrible motherboard. Like it's a motherboard that wasn't built to handle video cards, so you have to sort of really wish really hard to have more than one hard drive if you actually want to use them. I have 16 gigs of RAM, so that's a plus, and an RX 480 video card that we got from Amazon because someone gave us a gift card at the end of last year for Christmas.
Really
which is
cool.
nice about it. Yeah.
Cool.
Also, I have an SSD, which 120 gigabyte SSD. I don't understand how I used computers before SSDs. I just can't see how.
Yeah, they do not really impact the performance of the PC, but the speed within Windows and loading games and such.
It's amazing. Like Path of Exile is not playable on the hard drive. It took over a minute to load this 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind-boggling.
Okay, and anything on your wish list?
Yeah, I hope to upgrade next year to Ryzen Generation 2.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like really good processors. If they can get the Infinity Fabric intercommunication between the cores to be a bit faster, they would be just murderous in terms of CPU power.
Okay. R5 or R7?
Probably R5, but if I win the lottery, on R7 for sure.
Hope you win the lottery.
I hope so too. I haven't actually played the lottery in many years, but I still hope to win it.
Okay, we always like to win the lottery without playing it. It could be something. Okay, so the next category and the last one. Questions more about the future. Any must-play games on your radar?
Well, Divinity Original Sin 2 should be out of early access this year. I've had the early access version for some time, but I haven't played it. Mostly because I played about 30 hours of the original Sin while it was in early access and had to restart everything. I just want to have the complete game fully enabled when it comes out. Also, the new MechWarrior game. It's going to be out next year. We haven't had a single-player MechWarrior game for 15-something years. 17 years maybe. Mm-hmm. And also the Battletech game.
Sorry, the MechWarrior game, you are not referring to the multiplayer one?
No, I already played that, but that's not single player. It doesn't have single player, sadly.
Mm-hmm. So there is? Because I do not know about this.
MechWarrior 5 is coming out next year.
Really awesome. Okay. Cool.
It's made by the same people that made MechWarrior Online. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of the work already done with designing the mechs and everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they are taking the work they done and put a single player. Cool.
But they're making it on Unreal 4, so it'll actually work better than the online version.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. And the last game you mentioned, because I interrupt you?
Battletech, which is also MechWarrior, but this time it's a tactical turn-based game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I would ask you a question. I'm not sure about if it released, but what's your opinion on Ur-Quan? Did you play it?
The what?
Ur-Quan.
Oh, Ur-Quan.
Yeah, the Chinese MechWarrior game.
I don't think it was Chinese. I played the game. It was really more of a shooter with robots than a mech sim like MechWarrior is. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't really get the hype behind the game. I mean, they had the rights to the game, to the movie rights to the game, sold like within a week of the trailer coming up. I didn't understand the hype, and I played it. I still don't get it.
Okay, because they focused more on action.
Yeah.
On the combat basically, and it wasn't really slow like a MechWarrior normally is. So, yeah. Okay, the next question. What is your channel dream series and what would you like to be successful with?
Okay, I do have a dream series or two dream series planned. One of them is to make, and this is a world reveal, I plan to make a series based on the best game of the year going from 1967 to today.
Like 1967?
Yeah.
Whoa.
that's I believe that's when the ColecoVision came. Oh no, that's when Pong came out. Mm-hmm. That's when the first console came out. I want to do a show about each year of gaming, like 50 episodes back to back, something big, something great, but it'll take a lot of time, so it won't come out anytime soon. Also, I want to go back into making parody news again. I used to have a news show back on Games Arena. I hosted for 2 years. It was sort of like the Colbert Report, but for gaming news. Mm-hmm. Because it was very low budget, I couldn't really get other people to come host it with me, so it just be myself, and then myself again in a different suit with a different accent, playing a different character. Mm-hmm. It went a bit crazy, and I liked it, but it wasn't very popular in Romanian. So maybe in English it will do better, but it does take a lot of work to do.
A higher market, so to say.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The next question. what most excites you about this industry?
Well, the possibility of making a game that everybody can play, everybody can understand, everybody can enjoy. Like that's the most exciting thing possible.
Wouldn't this be downgrading games? Because the industry really does that in order to make it more feasible for young kids, more feasible for,
Yeah, sometimes you do get games that are just watered down versions of something that was before them, but you can make games that everybody can play and still everybody can enjoy, but still have value to them, still can teach you something, still can bring people together.
Okay.
World of Warcraft, for example. World of Warcraft is such a game. It brought people from around the world together. Even Pokemon Go, which is not a great game, still managed to bring a lot of people together.
Okay. Good point, yeah. And on the other side, what would you change in the gaming industry?
Well, probably I would try and get less of a focus on making billions and billions and billions at the cost of absolutely everything. Because developers are being worked to death sometimes. Like you see them burning out quite quickly. There's crunch time where they work 100 hours a week just to finish a game. It can become a very, very difficult environment to work in. And that's mostly because they have very, very strict schedules they have to abide to, set by people who are not involved in game development. And
the publishers.
I just saw a video by Super Bunny Hop about how Activision and Electronic Arts and many other companies they created tax loopholes. They lobbied for different taxing laws so they won't have to pay billions in taxes.
Well, yeah. Them and the politicians.
Yeah, and still they continuously fire people, close down studios, and work people to death. It's not a nice thing to do.
Yeah, okay. So what would you change in gaming industry? You are saying more about the people.
Yeah.
Not to be such greedy.
Care about the people a bit more. Though maybe not too much. I mean, John Romero tried to do that with Ironstorm, where he cared a lot about the people, and it was a financial sinkhole where everything died and Daikatana came out. So there needs to be a balance, a better balance.
Okay. Nice idea. And the last questions of the show. Any advice to the viewers?
Well, don't go out if it's very, very hot outside. But
yeah, relating to this industry, this medium of gaming.
Well, if you're getting into games, or if go and play games that you don't necessarily like games from genres you've never tried before. Go and see what other people are enjoying and you're not, and try to understand why they enjoy a game that you're not enjoying. Maybe try to expand your horizons, to broaden your scope. It'll help you.
Very cool, very cool. So you are in terms with the extra credits, guys.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Because they have that show with games you might not have tried. So
yeah.
Really, really cool. Okay, so this concludes the show, and I thank you a lot for joining me and
my pleasure.
Lasting through all my questions. And yeah, it was fun. Any final words?
Well, buy my book.
And subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, that too. Okay. Have fun playing games. And play Star Control 2.
Star Control 2. Okay, I will give that a try. Okay, again, thank you a lot, and I thank you to all the viewers that are watching until this point. And it was a pleasure for me to do another one of these. And please like the video if you liked it, or dislike it if you didn't. Please comment down below with your feedback and maybe any ideas to improve the format. And please subscribe to GaminGHD and maybe even my channel. And yeah, please stay here to see more videos. I thank you a lot for being here and have a great day ahead. Bye.
Goodbye.